Hello, and thank you for your attention today. I would like to introduce you to some of the research I've been conducting alongside Professor Caroline Hales and Dr. John Littlewood at Cardiff Met Uni this year. Many thanks go to them as always, and to my company partners Stuart and Teresa. As you're all aware, we are living through a climate emergency, with 10 of the warmest years on record, all having occurred in the last 16 years. With global average temperatures are already hovering around the 1 degree increase mark from pre-industrial levels, and in the UK we experience climate events such as heat waves and flooding on an increasingly regular basis. Against this background, we are all tasked with the question of how to adapt our lifestyles and consumption, both as individuals and collectively, to be able to live within our means. In the UK, carbon emissions from domestic buildings account for 22% of annual emissions, and alongside the established need to provide more affordable housing, there is a need to provide climate resilient, efficient and comfortable housing that can adapt to our changing climate and contribute to the UK's goal to reach net zero carbon by 2050. In Wales, the Welsh Wellbeing for Future Generations Act legislates that decisions that we make now should always consider the impact on future generations and action no harm. In respect of building new housing, this translates to a range of goals and benefits with which this research project is closely linked. The nature of the PhD I am studying means that it is quite applied, and I am working closely with a Housing Development Partnership to appraise and research their build projects. The partnership between the National Residential Contractor and Cardiff Council has previously constructed their traditional brick and block homes in response to the need for comfortable and affordable housing, designed at 17% above the building regulations requirements previous to the Future Home Standard. And the Council also have a strong interest in reducing fuel poverty among their social housing tenants through reducing energy bills. The wider goals of the research include finding out how successful this has been, alongside looking at occupant comfort and summer overheating risk. A large part of this is work carried out through post-occupancy evaluation to begin with, before moving towards the design proposal phase. As performance and insulation levels increase in new housing, so other factors affecting energy consumption become more pronounced, such as the proportion of carbon impact that is in the building structure itself, and also the impact of occupant behaviour on the variance in energy consumption. So leveraging behaviour and the values that occupants hold as part of POE can in turn contribute to our understanding of the reasons behind given behaviours and can inform interventions to decrease energy bills for the resident, helping with improved environmental performance and occupant satisfaction. Counter to the barriers to POE uptake, such as lack of incentive or liabilities, the partnership projects are actually part of a continuum of schemes led with similar project teams and procurement and delivery models, such that there really is a tangible opportunity to improve and learn lessons from project to project. And in this sense, the POE we are conducting is a feeding forward approach, which helps to inform future design decisions. The work presented in this paper is concerned with the occupant feedback part of POE, carried out as a pilot study, which later will be combined with other work on design information, measured consumption data, etc. So to begin with, we wanted to conduct interviews in order to collect data, but this was around March 2020, and very quickly this became unavailable to us, and so an online questionnaire was considered as an alternative means to engage with the residents. We wanted to explore certain factors in more depth and try to incorporate some qualitative questions into the mix, specifically aimed at behaviour and attitudes towards energy consumption. So a questionnaire to target residents on a number of issues to do with behaviour, values, their satisfaction levels, and the importance and awareness that they attach to certain environmental conditions was designed and piloted, and it was disseminated through Qualtrics. We received a 15% response rate, which equates to 6 out of 40 dwellings across 3 development sites. We asked questions relating to 6 environmental variables, and we asked how each resident found these variables in terms of satisfaction, importance, and awareness. We also asked about comfort, control, and how residents perceive the importance of living in a low or zero carbon house and the associated lifestyle. Due to the low response rate, it's not possible to draw compelling, statistically significant conclusions. However, what we found in terms of awareness, importance, and satisfaction levels was that they reflected an issue that had been brought up elsewhere, that there had been issues with the ventilation systems in the houses, and in flats there had been overheating complaints. So as such, you can see where awareness and satisfaction cross over here, indicating that this is an issue worthy of intervention. And conversely, awareness levels of bad indoor air quality was low, which could point to the benefit of installing sensing equipment, as it is becoming more and more common in the home. And we also found that of the responses received, there was an indication that the ease of control in upper rooms in summer was much lower than in winter. So this is something we will focus on in improving the questionnaire of the main study. This points to confirmation that summer overheating is indeed an issue that would benefit from being addressed within the partnership dwellings. So what we found is that due to the low survey response and the difficulty in engaging with residents in a socially distanced way, we found that some of the most useful outputs from this work is about how to perform this kind of data collection in the middle of a pandemic and the lessons learned from that, such as it is really valuable to be able to go and approach residents, and as we now are experiencing the opening of society, that we can go towards participating in interviews again. And also we would then benefit from a lot of the observational data that we can gather and combine this with walkthroughs of the properties. So next steps include optimising the questionnaire following this pilot study. And it's also really thrown into relief the added depth of understanding we will get from having measured environmental and energy use data to go alongside the occupancy information. However, the few results we did get indicate that there may be potential to describe this method of questioning and analysis to draw out certain issues as a diagnostic tool and a way of visualising attitudes towards environmental conditions within the home. So thank you for your time.